And we have the grandson of the creator of all of these wonderful characters that we've been so fond of ever since all of us were little kids, and most especially last year with the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, and then this year, well, we can't tell you, it's a secret, but you'll recognize a couple of the other folks. Created by the wonderful Chuck Jones, and we're delighted to have his grandson, Craig Carlson, here, who came out from Los Angeles, so we appreciate that. You know, tourism in New Mexico, and I always like to remind people, tourism in New Mexico is still the second largest private sector industry in the state. It's the largest private sector employer. Last year, over $5 billion in revenue that comes from all of our wonderful visitors from all over the state, all over the country, and from around the world. We have about 110,000 people who are directly employed in the state in the tourism industry. Very, very major part of the employment picture. Right after we do the float, our numbers, our website, we have a huge spike in the website. Last year, I think it went up something like 30 or 35% in the several days following the Tournament of Roses. We also, our fulfillment house gets all kinds of additional calls that it had not gotten, obviously, before. None of it would be even remotely possible without somebody to come up with these great designs, these great concepts. And we were very fortunate about 5 or 6 years ago when I met through a mutual friend, Raul Rodriguez, and it happened to be at an event out in Los Angeles, and my friend said, "Oh, Raul designs floats for the Tournament of Roses," and I said, "You know, I wanted to do this for a long time, but never had an opportunity to do it. So maybe this would be a good year to talk about doing such a thing." And so we did, and so we were very fortunate to have been able to hire Raul to do our first float, and our second float, and our third float, and now our fourth float. And do give him a big hand. As many of you remember, our second float was somewhat controversial. But one of the fun things about our second float was that as controversial as it was, and you do remember it was controversial, it won the Grand Marshal's Award, which is one of the top 3 awards for the Tournament of Roses. And then last year we decided to do Whimsical again, and Raul has a wonderful connection with the Warner Brothers people, and we came up with this idea of, because the theme was that's entertainment, and we decided that our 2 most popular movie personalities in the state, notwithstanding some of the live ones, were Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, and so Raul came up with this terrific design, and again, all of you saw that, and we were very pleased. It won the Bob Hope Award for Creativity and Humor, which is another top award, so we were real pleased about that. Would you all please give a big round of applause to Raul Rodriguez, who came all the way from Los Angeles today to be with us.
I call myself the overnight success. I designed my first float in the Rose Parade when I was 14. It was a high school competition. And I think without further ado, I think, Mike, will you help me? Present to you Enchantments in the Air. Featuring Pepe LePew and Kitty. I think it's going to be wonderful, and I think it's another huggable, it's another memorable, another, I think, crowd pleaser.
It's a privilege to be able to have Chuck's work on something that is going to be seen around the globe again. And as I walked out of the gallery, we've been in Santa Fe in New Mexico for going on 17 years now. And we came here to open up a gallery for one reason, because Chuck loved coming here. And it was easy as we thought about, okay, we're going to open another gallery. Where does Chuck like to go? That makes things a lot easier, because then he'll want to be there. And he loved coming to New Mexico. But he created Pepe LePew 5 years before he created the Roadrunner. And Mike Maltese, who was his great writer back there in the 40s, and Chuck came up with a character on one concept, a skunk who had no clue that he was repulsive. And then it went from there. And he tells a story that, of course, a skunk that has no idea that he's repulsive and that every woman in the world must be attracted to him must be French. And so, hence, Pepe LePew was born and first came to the screen in 1945. I don't think either of these gentlemen has actually seen an image. I don't know, do you have that? That Chuck did 10 years ago? Do you have the Ascent? See everything Ascent, A-S-C-E-N-T, yes. There's Ascent, and some of the cartoons are for sentimental reasons, some of them are something to do with odor. But Chuck did this image 10 years ago. That maybe Chuck was always a bit prescient about things to come. And that Pepe LePew would, of course, be chasing after Kitty in a balloon someday, and now the world is going to see this exact same image. So, I'm going to give that to you. I just want to say thank you from the whole family for honoring Chuck and his characters and his memory this year again. So I will hopefully let you know, Chuck designed and created about 250 characters in his career, so hopefully we're set for another 250 years on into the future. So thank you, everybody.